Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Gallery 11, Part 3. We're going to look at several sections of this gallery by Virginia Horrigan. And Unknown is in this, and so is Unusual. Unknown and Unusual. And we're going to finish it off with the Garden Party. And so, Unknown is exactly that. I have no idea what any of them are. And Unusual is pretty much close to it, but it's unknown, but unusual, but a couple of them are known. Very unusual artifacts. Nothing like it the world over. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you've enjoyed it so far as we wind down on the gallery, Artifact Gallery series. So I know there's going to be at least one more, and there will be a dessert dressing at the very, very end. Out of this world. Unbelievable. Thank you for joining me. Now we're going to look at Miss Horrigan's section on scripted tablets, and I'm not going to elaborate on a bunch of these. We've seen them already, and real clear shots, but I have to include them in her gallery. Here's the reverse of it. Here's another one we've seen. This is another one of those 3D stand-up statue kind of decorations. Same thing from the side. We've seen this guy. And this one has some scratches on the side of it too. This is a really huge stone here. It's in Scott Walter's basement. And it's got some animals up here. It's got a sun. It's got some more script down here. Little stick man. Cute little stick man. It's covered with script. Couple of little animals with some script. Here's a verse of it. And here's that roll-out ring. This is a really nice, well laid out tablet here. It could have gone into gorgets. It's got script, and I believe this one's for sale. Here's the reverse of it. Here's the reverse of that same stone. And that will conclude this short gallery on scripted tablets. Now I have titled this section Snakes, but some of them are kind of questionable, like this guy here. Is that a snake or not? I'm not so sure, but I've got it in snakes. And I really like this section here. And I used a few of these in my Cobras of Columbus video. Here you see two snakes eating each other's tails. Got me. This tablet here is very similar to the previous one, and it could have gone in gorgeous, but hey, it's too nice. You see the snakes being eaten, but they've got that curly cue right here in the middle. That slip knot looking thing, which the other one had. It's a cute little rock here. It looks like a snake taking a break, taking a rest. He's like fixing to go to sleep. It looks so cuddly. But I don't know for sure if it's a snake. It looks like a snake to me, but if you look real close, it's got some kind of thing there. You tell me. Real nice carving of a rattler. And here's the reverse of that same stone. Here's one we've already seen, but I'm showing it again. It's just such a nice carving. It's got the head of an animal here and rattlesnake there. And this is the reverse of it. Isn't he cute? The little cobra's peeping up over the top there. Peekaboo. This is a real nice carving here. He's been in several collections. I've used him in other videos. Beautiful cobra. Here's another one I used. And my video, Cobras of Columbus, pretty much depicts, I show a bunch of cobras, but the whole gist of it is I don't think it was Columbus that brought these cobras over here. Cute little pendant. And here's the reverse of that same stone. King cobras are laid back. The spitting kind and several of the others are not so much laid back. So. And with this guy here, we will conclude this section on snakes. I'm calling this section here tips, but could be arrow tips, could be spear tips. And this is the reverse of it. Here's another one cut in marble. And here's the reverse of that same stone. Here's several together. And here's our last tip, but it could be could go on an axe heads, but it's not really defined there. Hard to say sometimes. Short little section. Now we are in the section I call statues, and again, to me, a statue is anything that stands up on its own, upright. And again, I had so many files in this section, and I split it up into 3. And there's still another section after this one, the 3D pieces, which you can hold in your hand, and they're like statues as long as you're holding them, but they don't stand up on their own. And some of these you've seen before, and there are no marble statues in here. I've pulled all the marble statues out. You've seen those before. So let's run through them. Here's a weirdo, probably about 17, 18 inches tall. This is Lavanya. This appears to be local mudstone of some description. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, I ain't never seen no artifacts like this before, anywhere, the world over. Well, welcome to my world. I believe these guys are like almost 1.5 feet tall. I'm not sure. I can't remember. This is the reverse of that stone. And here's a good shot of one of the pieces I used to own. He weighs 45 pounds. And she didn't take a picture of the other side, which was really eroded. Maybe that's why. She wanted to show his good side. But if she had showed the other side, a lot of people would have been wondering, like, hey, let's see that stone. Let's see that artifact. I want to examine that. That looks old. And it is. It's a very old piece. And it's been forensically tested. It's a beautiful piece. Wonderful statue. Just too heavy for me to carry around. This could have gone in people, but he's a statue. I wish we had the reverse of him. This is a well-carved piece. This is the broken piece here. Here you see it as it is broken, but you can clearly see the inside of the stone medium here, and there's a couple of these other slabs here in the background here too. This big collection. Here's a very fine example of a small statue. Very well carved. I haven't seen this in any other galleries. It might be there. I can't remember it though offhand. This head's pretty big. Weighs over 20 pounds. This guy here is pretty big too, with nice lavagna carving. Handsome fella. And with this guy here, we will conclude our section here of this gallery, massive gallery, statues. I'm calling this section Sons, but it really should be Sons or something similar, okay? So, we're going to look at some shots of this stone. This stone is about the size of a paper plate. Here's another marble piece. Cute little piece. I think it's for sale. This is another really large sun disk, but it's got a Gorgonian in the middle of it. See, got the French kiss, blah. And I mean, that's what, 14, 16 inches tall, 15 inches tall. Probably about 2 inches thick. Big tablet. Let's blow him up. And there's the Gorgonian. And that's where we're going to leave this short little section on suns, or something similar. Look at all these feathers here. Today we got a bird for breakfast. Yum. Like the bird meat? You like that bird meat? Yeah. It's a little bit more trouble to clean up than a mouse, but oh well, what can you say? Munching down on a bird for breakfast. You got a little feather on your head there. I'm now going to tackle this extensive section of Virginia's gallery. I'm calling 3D. And that's three-dimensional artwork pieces that don't stand up on them by themselves. And many of these I don't have pictures of the reverse, but I have seen them or held them, and I know that they are 3D pieces, such as this one here. Here's our next one. I'll blow this one up. And here's the reverse of the same stone. Looks like a lady here. Some evidence of mammary glands. This is one also small figure, and some of these, how did they carve so well in them without breaking them? I don't know. This guy could have gone in unusual or creatures, but I've got him in 3D. Some weird kind of looking, maybe a bird head with its mouth open or something. You got me. I've covered this artifact here in other places, showing you both sides. Here's another really nice piece that kind of got lost to the wind. Now let's look at the reverse of it. Really nice carving. Here's another pretty ugly character. It appears to have slight images of mammary glands here, but it sure isn't pretty. And if we look at the rear of it, kind of got some cheeks hanging here. Looks more feminine to me. Here's a 3D head. A bunch of these. Check out this little guy here. That's a smile now. Strange looking character. And here's two well carved images, and I'm suspect that they're about 10 inches tall. It appears to me that the same artist carved both of these, and I'm sure that whoever he was carving were happy with the images. Oh, the stone just doesn't do you justice. You know, I mean, if you look like that and somebody carved it, I mean, would you stand? If you didn't look like that, well, I don't think he would, you know, pass. I mean, you got me. You got me. This is another pretty large piece. This piece is kind of heavy too. We've seen this one in other galleries. Here's the rear of her. I'll blow him up. We've seen this guy here before also. A little strange. Way strange. Got the pointed ear. Here's another one. I don't have the picture of his reverse, but he's a 3D. Another well-carved piece. This is another really fine executed piece. It's been in other galleries. Here's the reverse of it. Good looking carving here. And here we have a lady leaning a little bit, and she's got very large mammary glands hanging down here. She's cute as she can be. And let's see the reverse of her here. Got nice bubble cheeks here. Now, I'm going to show you something here that I find very cute and amusing. Here's the front. Here's the rear. Now let's go back and forth. When was the last time you saw a 2,000-year-old rock dance? Shake it, baby. Clearly Egyptian again. Here's this guy again. And here's the reverse of him. We've seen this guy here before. There's another lady. You talk about the large mammary gland there. It almost appears like somebody didn't get to finish it. And we've seen this guy in different collections. Right here's his name. And here's these four guys again. And this guy here is probably the size of a nickel, to give you some idea. Nickel, dime, dime, dime. These are very small. Well executed though. Really good carvings. To do this, you'd have to have good eyes and something sharp to cut. Oh my goodness. And let's look at the reverse of them. Well executed 3D statues, kind of. And this is our last entry concerning three-dimensional pieces, taken by Virginia Horrigan in 1987. This is going to be a pretty short section. Unknown. I have no idea what any of these are. You got me. Absolutely unknown. And there are a few of these. There's just some kind of rock with this lines on them. We'll see a couple more. Here's another shot of the same stone. Here's one I have absolutely no idea what this is. And you can't find any more pictures of it. We've seen this one before. Looks like it's got three serpent heads coming out of it. I have no idea what the heck that is. Not much to see here, but I gotta show it. Here's another one. It's just got scratches all over it. This kind of favors a bird head. Or not. Here's another one. Has been carved with human hands, but what it's supposed to be, I don't know. Here's the same stone from a different angle. And here it is again. Now we're going to see a section that I have titled Unusual. Now, if you think for 1 second that you have seen some unusual items, well, yeah, you have. There's so many strange and unusual things. And now we're going to look at what I call unusual of doing this for 25 plus years. Some of these are fantastically weird. Never seen anything like it. But I know if it's got 2 eyes and a nose, it's some kind of creature. So these are very, very unusual. So let's see this section I'm calling Unusual, shall we? I'm calling this section of the gallery Unusual, and believe me, there are some in here that are very unusual. We'll start off with this guy here. He sure does look happy. Want to see the back side of him. Not a whole lot there. He could have gone in creatures or something else. Here's another one. Can't really make out the script on this right here. This piece is raised up. Unusual carving. Here's another one that is very similar to the previous one. Have no idea what these are. Here's a small artifact. Don't know what it is. It's got what appears to be some kind of animal here and here. Here. Here's the back of it. It's got like a bird here. Here's another. It's got some animals here and here and here. That would be unusual. Now this appears to be a turtle of some description, and this could be, I think, a jellyfish or something. What is that? Same artifact, different angle. Got a creature here. He's got his tail going out this way here. He's got another animal over here. Here's a different angle. And here's the same artifact from the top. It's got a few birds there. Kind of cool. Different angle. Same piece. This could be a windstone but I've got it in unusual. Small. Pretty good carving. You can't see the other side of it, but there's 3 heads around this piece here. Have no idea what this is. It's got some kind of pattern design in it. And then there's the rear of it. And this piece is really big and heavy. It's probably over 2 feet across. And it had a bevel. I've got pictures of it, I think somewhere in my gallery of the underneath of it. It was made as a lid to fit over a carved hole. And it's about 4.5 inches thick. It's got a real nice pattern on it. And this was in Thelma McLean's collection. And here's this piece again. And I had thought that this was like maybe could be some kind of ship or something up here firing down or whatever. But under closer examination, I got it wrong for all these years. This is got eyes and a mouth on it, so it's kind of bending over to eat something, it appears. And these 2 right here are legs, and these 3 appendages here are some kind of feathers or tail. Doesn't appear to have wings, but could. So that's one I had wrong. I've never noticed the head on that before. Here's another unusual artifact. And that's the whole thing. I'm going to blow it up. And what I see here is 4, looks like heads in position with real long necks and stick arms. Stick arms, and then there's a curve in each body. There's 4 of them here. And they have 2 legs. Each one of them's got 2 legs. So what in the world is that? This looks like some kind of canine or some other kind of mammal. Looks like it's got teeth with a face, with ears or some kind of horn. Either way, this makes no sense. That looks like somebody started to carve a puppy or something. Really small. Or it could be a bird head down here. Don't know. Here's another one. Got what appears to be, could be some kind of human head. And he's got 4 feet, 4 paws, crouched down. That could be a whinstone, but I got it here in unusual. And here's one that she took several pictures of. Got different sides of it. It could go in patterns. These are not very clear. They could be animals. Here's another small trinket. I've used this guy before. Here's another shot of some of that really rough and crude jewelry. It's bronze. Here's this guy again. Still have no idea what it is. This handsome fellow is two-faced. This is the reverse of that same stone. Here's another shot of this ugly fella. And that stone there is pretty thick. It's like 4.5 inches thick and it's rounded. Big piece. It's over a foot tall. And here's another really unusual piece. It's real faint and eroded, but it could be a snake. This could be a snake wrapped around this way, here like that. Try to blow it up for you here. Now this is one of the most unusual pieces there are. It's very well executed. It is a 3D piece. It's about the size of a baseball. And it's got several animal heads carved into it. And as you're looking at it one way, the eye and the mouth are one animal, but the ear could be the nose of another animal or another animal. Just fantastic. This is very perplexing. How in the world somebody would start to carve something like that, I just don't know. Here's another shot of it. I think I counted like 5 or 6, maybe even 7 years ago when I first saw this. I was like, wow. Several animal heads carved into one piece. Don't know what this is or whatever, but he appears to be happy. Here's another shot of the base of this one that's been broken. It's the cobra head. I think here she's got it laying on its side. And here's one that's pretty unusual. You got this big old ugly head here. It's got a person sitting on something here. He's got his mouth open with a tooth. Strange. Here's another really big piece. I'll blow it up. It's got what appears to be a couple of people here, an animal. There's something here. It's heavily eroded, hard to see. I've never seen this tablet here in any other gallery. Here's another really large one. Here's another pretty big one. Looks like the phases of the moon. Looks like a person here. Fish. Here's another really big piece. It's like 2 feet long, several inches wide, and it's heavy. Got another shot of it. Appears to be some type of 3D statue of sorts. And here's our last small piece in this section. I call unusual. Welcome to the garden party. And this section was a complete afterthought, because as I was putting all these galleries and pictures in the sections that I wanted to, I realized I had so many of these really big ones. Some of them are big, some of them are really large, and some of them are just huge and heavy. They weigh over 200 pounds. And what I'm going to show you comes from 2 collections, Jack Ward and Thelma McLean. And these are some of the most outrageous artifacts the world has ever known. and to have come from Marion County, Illinois, right over there. And Russell Burroughs was pulling these huge pieces out, and he had a wheelbarrow, and he was pulling them out like every night. And he was taking them to Jack Ward's place and Thelma McLean's place. He was selling them, and they didn't have a place for them. You can't put them inside. They couldn't even lift them. I mean, Burroughs had to have help getting them out of his van. How he got them in his truck, I don't know. But Burroughs was pretty stout. I mean, Burroughs wasn't a skinny kind of guy. He had muscle. He wasn't swole or nothing, but he was in pretty good shape. And nobody had any place to put them. So they started putting them in the rock gardens, decorating with landscaping. And according to both Tom Cullen and June Elkin, Jack Ward had been supplying 2 other people with artifacts for their rock garden. So from those, we'll never know what happened. They're gone to the wind. I don't have any record of them, and they're gone to the wind. And them being outside for years and years, they're probably turned to dust. And as you'll see, several of them had already gotten algae on them because they'd been outside for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years before Virginia Horrigan ever took pictures of them. Some of them probably out 5 years or more. Who knows? We don't know. And I have featured several of these larger pieces in a few of the previous sections of Virginia's gallery, and that was from the rock garden. But as I got further into it, I realized that there were so many, I needed to make it its own section, and so there are like 3 or 4 scattered into in the other sections, which I'm sure I think I point out. Hey, this is a really big one. Some of those weighed 80 pounds. 100 pounds, 150 pounds, 200 pounds, and some of them are really large, like 4.5 feet tall, and spectacular pieces, and but like I say, I wish I had a record of them, the rest of them, but I don't. Joe Mahan ended up with like 4 or 5 of these really nice sandstone heads that Russell Burroughs sold Jack Ward. So we're going to look at these. And like I say, this is absolutely spectacular. And they come from right over there. And, it's just ironic that nice 3D statues and big artifacts from Alexander's tomb just weathered out in people's rock gardens. It's hard to believe, but it is true. Let's have a look-see. Now we're going to get into one of my favorite sections of the gallery. And here's one that's about 3.5 feet tall. And it was called the birthing stone because you see there's a little creature down here apparently coming down, and you see the mammary glands here. And I'm going to blow her up. And here she is. She's just gorgeous. I mean, this lady here is just drop dead gorgeous, isn't she? And these were in the rock garden of Thelma McLean. Thelma McLean had a rock garden with these big statues in it, and this thing probably weighed over 200 pounds. And they were coming in so fast they had no place to put them, so they just stuck them out in the yard. Let you see Junior down here. Blow him up one more time. He's waving. Hey. Here's another really large one. It's got a bunch of animals carved on it. This piece is about, I would say, 2 feet, 18 inches to 2 feet in length. Got all kinds of carvings on it. And here's another really big one, really heavy. It's got like a bowl in the top of it carved here. And there's a couple more of these. We're going to look at some more. Here's the same stone from a different angle. It's huge. This rock probably weighs 80 pounds. Here's another one. And you can tell that it's been outside for a couple of years at this point. And it's starting to get the green algae on it. That didn't happen overnight, so this guy's been outside for a while. And this one was in Jack Ward's possession. Here's the same stone from a different angle. Not quite as large as the other one. Here's another pretty big one. Heavy. I believe Joe Mahan actually ended up with this one. But I couldn't get pictures of the big ones because my camera setup only focused on on the small pieces. Big old ugly head. I'll blow this up. Here's another one. See, it's got a little upside down Helios carved under his eye there. And you notice the smirk in the mouth. Really good carving, actually. I'll blow him up. Here's another really big one. Got a little ring in his nose. And this would have also been in Jack Ward's possession. Like I was saying, there were two other rock gardens that I never got to see anything from. I just heard from other people who were collectors that there were two more collections of these large heads. Maybe 10 to 12 more of these really big artifacts. Here's another one for the ages. Splendid in a rock garden. Liven up your rock garden. I wonder if we could make replicas of these stones. Would people buy them and put it in their rock garden? Here's another really huge artifact. Another one from Jack Ward's garden. Got the little mustache there, the Frito Bandito mustache. And here's one of the first shots of Mega Head. And he doesn't have to live outside anymore. He likes living in my shop. Okay, I'm in my shop here with Mega Head. And Mega Head has been here since summer of 2013 when the History Channel came here and did their hatchet job on me. And they weren't interested in Mega Head. They were just interested in a couple of artifacts that Scott Walter brought that were obvious fakes. And plus we may do a video on fake pieces. But Mega Head is he's wonderfully carved. You see he's got the pointed ear here. There's an eye spinning around to the front. He's got some kind of looking beak thing coming down here. And he's got teeth like this, which you might think that, oh, well, maybe it's a bird, but birds don't have teeth like that. No, top, upper, and lower teeth. And here's Mega Head's better side. See his pointed ear again. And for years, I've been saying that Mega Head weighed between 140 and 160 pounds. And I was wrong. I got my, my scale out, and I had to push him up like that and set him on the scale and square him up, and he weighs 136 pounds. And I'm not so concerned about handling this artifact with gloves on because, like I said, he has been outside for years and now he's inside. And he's a lovely piece. He is for sale. You can purchase a 3D statue that weighs 136 pounds from Alexander's tomb. Here's the rear of him here. And this could have been cut off or hacked off or broken off. And this is obviously part of a larger stone, cut or whacked. But he is a really nice piece, and well carved. And he's been out here for years, and he will be here until somebody can help me get him someplace else. So, here's Megahead, one of my friends, one of my old-time friends. Ain't he handsome? This is another stone that was out in Jack Ward's rock garden. And top to bottom, probably about 18 inches, judging by the size of that 2x4 there. And this guy, you'll notice the smirk in the mouth. And he was exposed to the elements for years. He's probably all powder now. I'm going to blow him up. Evidently, they didn't care whether or not the stone deteriorated or not. They had so many. They had so many and had so little place to put them. It's just a common thing, you know. It's like these artifacts that are really big, it's hard to find a place for them. It's hard to find a good home for them. So let's just put them out in the flower garden. Put them out in the rock garden. Use them for landscaping. Staying in the rock garden. Another big one. This guy probably weighs over 120 pounds. He's huge. He's huge. I'm going to blow him up. And he's outside, exposed to the elements. Here's another one. Got nice earrings and a lazy eye. And he's huge. Probably 1.5 feet, 2 feet across. Same. I mean, some of these are just big. Left to the elements. I'm going to blow him up a little bit more. And that will conclude this section of just really huge pieces that were in Thelma McLean and Jack Ward's rock garden. Hey, boy. Hey, boy, you chowing down? Chowing down? Mmm. That looks good. Tasty. Tasty. Yum. You gonna let me have that? You gonna let me have your leftovers? Hmm? You gonna finish up? It's time to go clean up, isn't it?